Good. Y'all good today, this evening?
Yo,
Welcome in. What's your name? Who
Yep.
are you? Where you
Yep.
where you vitaling from? Hello.
yo,
Yeah, I hear you.
yo.
Who are you? Where you from?
This is Black, y'all. I'm in the building, Pratt City.
Hey y'all, it's Jeter. I'm from Riley, Alabama.
Fly Dave Johnson, man. Born and raised in the streets of Best David. Nah. I'm from Ena Ridge, man. Found out.
All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome in, everybody. Those of you who are just tuning in because it's just beginning, you're not late. You're not late at all. We just kind of got a late start. Somebody was singing. Who was that? Pebbles was on singing about her Mercedes. Then we came in. So it's been a big week, a lot to talk about back in the studio. Throughout the summertime, there are a lot of breaks that we take because life happens. So while life is lifing, we are in these streets enjoying life and making history, making news. So that's what we've been doing. First Sunday back live in studio. Have you all had a great week?
Great week.
Great
Phenomenal
week?
Yeah.
Busy week.
Yeah.
Very busy week. Another busy week is about to kick off because Birmingham City schools and other school systems return to school tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the county go back Tuesday.
They go back Tuesday.
Why you start school on a Tuesday?
It don't matter. I'll take it.
Just go
Whenever
back.
go back, right?
Just go back.
So the return to school is this week, and some students have already gone back. So one time for all of those students, those who are starting new grades, well, everybody started a new grade, but like going to a
You hope
We
they
hope
all
so.
start a new.
yeah, you're
That's what
right.
we hope.
You're right. They may not be. Hey, Rashanique, but those that are going to these different levels of education. So if you're leaving pre-K, going to big kids school, congratulations to you.
Big kids.
Right? Leaving elementary school, going to middle school, and that awkward transition. I hope you can get it and hold on tight to that. And the high schoolers, those of you going to high school one time for you, I got somebody going to high school.
Me too.
I'm like
She going to the ninth grade.
going to the ninth grade
That's crazy. My
got
friend
one
went to the
going
ninth grade. I didn't know that they were the
Mm.
same
Got
age.
one going to college.
to college.
Yes, to college.
Like this is you still crying?
I tell you every week I don't want to go. Like
You ain't gotten better?
It's not gonna get better.
I need to ask my daddy about that. Like when I went to state, how was he? I don't recall him being
No kind of way.
no, and he's normally that way, but I don't remember I don't recall
It
that.
ain't gonna get better for me. I promise.
Do you say it to her?
I've told her several times. She's like, I can't wait till the 15th.
Right.
That's the day they
bye.
move in. She ready to go.
Yes, this is a new chapter in my life. I'm out of here.
I,
Bye, Jack.
Where's she going?
UAB.
How she going over?
man, she
She
going
down
across
the
the
street.
street.
but she's not gonna be in the house with me. I
She
don't.
living on campus.
She's got to live on campus her freshman year.
Watch,
Okay.
watch how your bills go down.
Right, like yo, man, watch your power bill for real.
I
You
can't
can
believe
really
you said, I'm
tell.
sorry.
Hey,
but
but
he's
you know
sure
though,
to get
here's the
out.
funny thing. She's the dopest kid. She don't even watch TV.
Oh,
Well,
so-
she be reading.
Reading and on her little social stuff she got, but she don't. We took cable out of her room because she never watches it and she don't miss it.
Why you got cable anyway?
But we got streaming. Listen,
I still got cable.
Nah,
no,
me
we got
too.
we got all the other stuff. We got the YouTube. I mean the Hulu and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My wife is just afraid that if you get rid of cable,
I'm like,
I
something's
understand
gonna
your
happen.
wife.
yeah,
But
but
like-
like the app.
Hulu has like live TV.
we got Hulu, we got
Can you come hook mine
Prime,
up?
we got
Yes, I promise you, I will hook you up.
It
You can
worked
let
just like
Spectrum
my
go.
cable.
we got a jailbroke
Yeah.
Fire Stick. We got everything. My
But-
wife
but
is just
rather
like
watch TV.
Yeah.
she just rather watch.
I
TV.
need to be able to
Me
turn the
too.
TV on, and it's just something gonna come.
I'm going to the Spectrum app. Like it's on a Roku TV, but I'm still going to where it's,
No, I ain't
It's
gonna do that either. I
cable.
need a
Yeah.
box.
You want a box?
I got a
do.
box in the den.
Y'all still got boxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my god! Well, you know I can't say nothing because I still got a DVD player.
We got one of those.
Why she laughing at you?
I got a DVD player.
I do have a DVD player.
Okay, so some things never change. They stay the same. But preparing to send our children back to school in today's society. So going back to school for us, and we're different generations. I think all of us have like a 10-year, couple of year difference. And then our listeners are all ages, all phases of life. As we were discussing earlier, we're talking to everybody on this station. So what's like, I just ask a broad question. What's different now when it comes to returning to school and back to school?
Let me start because I
Okay.
took these children school shopping today.
Mhm.
We left with 2 bags, and I in no way felt bad about it. You can't find it. Oh, well, you'll look like last year because I'm not going anywhere else.
Oh, okay. So for
Um,
us, what's the difference then? What was different for you going back to school? You had more than 2 bags.
I was lucky to get a bag. My mama didn't do no real
Oh.
life, school shopping. You better go in
Mm.
there and watch them clothes I bought at the beginning of the summer
Okay.
and make it work.
Make it do
Hmm.
what it do.
Yeah.
What's different? I find that a lot of kids want the same stuff that other kids have.
Yes.
They don't have like their own individual style. They all want the same dunks. They all want the same. Well, that's really what they all want.
Is that different though?
No, it's not
That's
different.
kind of that's
It's just the fact that we're the parents now.
yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I wasn't like that. Like I like when I was in school, whatever shoes was cute, I want them. I didn't want Jordans when I was in school. I wanted
Where'd you go to school?
Air Max. instead. I
Where'd you go?
I went to minor. Thank
Well, I
you.
wasn't a Jordan wearer either, so I kind of understand what Black coming from.
I didn't.
I just bought my first pair of Jordans like 2 months ago.
Girl, look, I bought my kid some Jordans and I made her work them off. Cause baby, what you do to get $120 pair of shoes?
Be my child.
Right. Because I'm dope, you dope.
My kids wear them. I just ain't that.
So I will say,
Oh, and school supply list, and you was
Okay,
on me
okay.
about that. Like,
Yeah.
but I need a school supply list, and then they give me a message talking about we'll give them to you the first day of school. Who got time to go and get school supplies Monday through Friday when you just get a kids list on Monday morning?
You get it on Saturday. I like a list.
So
need a list.
I want a list, but why aren't you giving it to us before school starts?
They used to do that. Now I saw that
Things
that's
are
something that they
different.
did not do this year. You know how you used to go in Walmart and they used to give you a list for the schools that were around that
Right.
Walmart, but I didn't see that this year.
What is
So,
that?
Things are different. So, like, this is what we're talking about. So, the way that things have changed, where we needed 50 pencils and crayons and colored pencils and a ruler and erasers and
What's that
construction paper.
calculator?
Well, I still think that
What's
the,
that big calculator we
the
need to use?
T9, the T
Yeah,
Yeah.
Texas something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Texas
Texas
Instrument
Instrument.
something.
Listen to that.
TI 49 or whatever it was.
Calm
All
down.
the children asking,
You,
do they know
you
what a
still
Texas
need
Instrument
those
is?
things, but what I did see that is totally different from when we were in school is my kids' school at the end of last school year, you can pre-buy your school supplies and you pay the school and
don't
they
trust
give
that.
you your supplies. I've done it before.
I don't really know if I trust that because I got trust issues. And if I
Okay.
give you this money and you tell me that you need $40 for these supplies, well, what if I can get them all for $20? I'll just get it myself.
I think it's more of a convenience factor. And the only reason I
Yeah.
didn't do it this year is because he's going to high school. We did it in middle school.
So they did offer y'all that though.
Yeah, they offer like you pay them a set fee and they purchase all of your supplies for you. So it wasn't something that I had to worry about.
That would be convenient, but no, I ain't getting no list.
that does make sense. Like I was saying in the think tank, whatever day it was, Thursday, that if I buy something particularly for my child, like if it's her favorite, if everything is her favorite color and it's for her,
And then it ends up being community stuff.
yeah, I don't know how I would feel about that because I bought that for you.
Oh, I know how I feel about it. I got a problem because why I bought Crayola, but then she come home with rose art.
That was one of the statements that was made on like somebody we know said that like if I buy Crayola, I buy real nice crayons.
Right, I do.
And I don't want my child to be coloring with Dollar Tree ones.
Right. They shed when you
Or the
color.
free
Like,
ones
why
from
am I?
Publix.
Right.
Hey, and then speaking of what has changed, you said they buy what kind of crayons they gave you?
Crayola.
Crayola.
We just want that big 64 box back in the day with the sharp in the back.
That's
But
Crayola. Like, yeah.
if you went to school with that, you was somebody.
You were.
You was somebody for that.
But now if you take crayons to school, period, you kind of whack. Why you got what you do with them?
It's not crayons, it's twistables. Where are y'all?
What?
They do have
They're
twistables. Yeah.
twistables.
What's a twistable?
I can't really
Crayons that like
explain.
it's kind of like a mechanical crayon.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a crayon.
It's a crayon. And so those are the equivalent of the crayon box with the sharpener in the bag now. Twistables. It's so strange.
Things are different.
Things are different.
First day of school, you would have your outfit. Now this has not changed.
It has not.
because this baby been trying on
It's the
outfits
change
and
from my
asking me
children
about.
because I don't know what they gonna wear.
Say mine got
What?
hers already
And I
ironed.
don't care at all. I'm actually anxious to see. I'm waiting.
So they had asked like, do these shoes go with this?
I
What
don't
you think
have
about
one child.
this?
The only child who even cares is my oldest daughter.
Mhm.
But Ashante and Sean don't care at all. If
So
he
you might
could go
wear
in a
a warm-up.
t-shirt and some slides,
That's
out
him.
of there. That's it.
Academically, what are you expecting it from schools this year? Like, are we expecting something different as far as like what happens in the school system and the work and what they're learning?
I I don't know what to expect because this is my first year with Birmingham school system. I know that they're supposed to send home a Chromebook, in which I heard that a lot of them weren't even really working last year. So she has her own Chromebook, but I'm still interested as to how like the curriculum is going to go and how they're going to be taught and how they like. I'm just curious to know how this is going to go because this is my first time.
It goes.
And
how
my
it
child
goes.
had books last year, so I'm
So
not
I think
used
it's
to
a blend
this.
of books and the device.
They don't bring books home.
Right.
They don't do that. I think for the most part, most schoolwork is given through is it Power School, Schoolology, or something like that. Schoolology sounds really familiar.
That's something.
Yeah. So I think that most of their work is given through that, and then they only do book work at school with a physical book.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So the device, the whole thing about the device was like during the pandemic when, we're going to have to go to digital learning. So we have to provide something for our students to be able to learn outside of the classroom. So a device was offered. I suggest that even in a situation where your student has a device, get a device.
Get a device.
Right. Just for
Uh,
backup.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I would say. But when I say expectations for a school year, with everything that we're experiencing as adults that school did not teach us, or the things that we see that are so important, I'm hoping that our teachers are vital enough to see that, hey, we need to be making sure our children understand civil rights and amendments
Oh,
Right.
and the
no.
political process, like what
Mhm.
that looks like. I remember my civics instructor in the 11th grade, Mr. Leo Ziegler, and he was very direct about why these things were important. Now, not to say that I remember each thing that he taught, but I definitely remember how serious he was about us knowing those things. I want teachers like that. I want my daughter to encounter teachers like that in this high school experience.
I agree.
Like, give me some stuff that teach them some things that they can take with them, angles and geometry and.
Do teachers like that still exist? I'm not saying that they don't. I just don't know any.
If you're that teacher, call us. But that's what I want. I want people that get what the real world looks like. Like, don't waste 4 years. Don't waste 4 years.
Like, do you know? Not obviously I be calling out names, but these good people. You know, Burgess Jeffries.
Mhm.
Burgess is doing some. He's been doing some stuff this
Mhm.
summer on like with Basquiat and making it like 3D and
Right.
and stuff like that. He's ahead of the game when it comes to stuff like that.
He always has been. So like you do have a couple of teachers like that. Shouts out to Erica Jones, and not to even start that thing, but there are people who are innovative instructors who really care about exposing our children to a different level and different idea of education. But overall, what does that look like in a system? So, and we function in systems. So the system is created the way that it is. It has its stuff in place. But is there room for people to get in there and say, well, hey, I want to insert this energy. I want to teach this lesson. I want to introduce our students to these concepts and really do it, really push it.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for. So if you all know any of those instructors, hey, tell them that it's somebody out there want to meet y'all, because we want to know what's happening in the classrooms and what our children are getting outside of the homes. School is not a daycare. It's not a babysitting job. Like, it's a real deal situation that is producing our future. And I don't
Right.
know at this point that I'm confident in what that looks like.
I don't know if I'm confident in that either because a lot of these kids, they don't even know what like just basic information is.
Basic living skills.
Right, basic living skills. They don't know. I had an 18-year-old come in and didn't know like her primary care doctor. Like who sees you on a regular
Social
basis.
security number.
Yeah.
Social security numbers.
Yeah.
And I
knew
remember
my
when I was in school.
pediatrician
Right. I
when
knew when I was in
little girl.
school, like younger grades, they would get slide us our social security numbers, like to fill out tests and stuff. I don't even know if they still do that. Yeah, we had to bubble it in. I don't remember.
Scantron.
I don't even.
Scantron.
Right.
This is your-
that's
these are your
dead.
vocabulary
That
words
is
today.
very dead.
Scantron. Pencil
Because if you
sharpener.
made a mistake,
Do they even have
Your
pencil
test
sharpeners
was
in
over.
school?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do.
Not the ones that's on the wall. Remember
No,
the
no,
ones
no, not
those-
the
I
crank.
do.
Not the
Yeah,
crank.
Crank it up.
No, electric.
No.
Let's see what else.
first to me, these kids, they don't get no time out for summer break either. It's like they just
no.
got out
They did.
and they're going back.
They've been out all year though.
Yeah, and they just
Yeah, that is
go
the
back.
difference.
Yeah.
That's with COVID.
They
So
get a
this
lot of
year, well,
break.
this year be officially their first year back from COVID. I guess because they were in and
Right,
out.
full
It
school
was
year?
last year.
Last year was a
Last
full school year?
They gave them the option. I don't know if Birmingham is doing it. I don't even
They
really know
did.
if Jefferson
Birmingham
County
does have
is.
the option. I got an email about saying that they have a virtual option as well.
I heard about that, but I thought you had to be either all in or all out.
Yeah,
You do,
Oh, that's not cool.
right?
No, you can't. You can't
I need both.
come
I
Monday,
need
Tuesday,
hybrid.
Wednesday, and then no.
Yeah, I need hybrid.
I'm tired today. I'm gonna go to virtual.
Yeah, and my parents going on vacation. I'm going too, so I need virtual.
Mm-mm.
And then the virtual wasn't really virtual because they weren't. You supposed to be, sitting up looking the part, and
Yeah.
These kids got on bonnets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
laying in the bed.
I mean,
mama
I
fussing
work
and
from
cussing in the
home,
back.
so
Right,
I
right.
get it. I ain't putting on no.
so and I wasn't that stickler for that type. I taught in the pandemic, and some instructors would say you have to have your camera on and be in front of your. No,
I don't want to see you
because you got to make the grades. If you can't make the grade, that's
Yeah.
on you. You can be in your bed. You can be in the tub. Don't start the camera if you're in the tub. But pass the class. That was all I asked.
That was it.
That's it. So back to school. What are your thoughts on it? What parents are having a hard time? One parent did call in and say that, hey, I'm not buying any of that community stuff. I'm not doing that part. I'm only going to get what my child needs. I'm not paying the fees, no registration fees, no, none of that. I'm not
She
doing
need
that.
homeschool.
Oh.
Here she go with this kid people.
I mean, okay, maybe.
I mean, it's just some stuff you do have to do. Now, the community stuff, it depends on what it is. I'm gonna buy Clorox wipes. I'm gonna buy, paper towels, Kleenex, stuff like that, because you want the kids to have that stuff.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizers are definitely so. That stuff I don't mind.
They should have their own though.
They should have their own, but I understand how everybody may not be able to provide it. So
Okay.
I'll try to over provide it if I can.
And this is what this parent was saying. Like, that's not my responsibility. We pay enough to the schools. The school gets grants. They get money. They
and
get
this
funding.
is why the children are the way that they are, because nobody wants to be responsible for them. It's a community
Facts.
effort.
Facts.
So
it takes a village.
Yeah, everybody, and maybe she is one of those parents who's not in a space where she can provide extra for other kids. And that part I understand, but don't gripe about it. Just don't do it. Don't try to talk other people out of it because you're not in a space where you want to.
Okay. All right. 994-8949. That's the number. We're going back to school this week. Birmingham City Schools is the main system around here. They return to school tomorrow. New year, fresh start, new. It's a time for newness. So hopefully you're preparing to get your children and young ones off to a good start. Teachers, I hope you're ready for what you're up for. I've been working on lesson plans on another level, trying to make sure that I am giving students what they deserve. And I just want to make sure that I can't make sure that everybody has that idea when it comes to their jobs, making sure that you give people what they deserve. But that's going to lead us into the second half of our conversation about our president. His age, his health. Can he give the United States another term? Does he have what we deserve?
We don't see him enough now.
Okay, then. All right. We'll be right back.
We're going to get JoJo back to the street.
We'll be back. You're listening to Vital right here on B94.9. We'll be back.
Joe ain't got
Chuck's in the building all the way from. He came in from Chi-Town.
Yay.
cracking?
Welcome back. See, that was so nice. She kept it nice.
I did.
Great. Oh,
'Cause
because
you didn't bring my hot chocolate.
All right.
You know you was gonna be here, research.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
Don't try to do me on air.
All
Don't do
right.
this, don't do this.
Okay, guys. What's happening?
Ain't gonna be in myself.
Look at Dave like, I'm out of it.
Yeah, you know,
So welcome back. Just
Don't let
kicked
him talk
off.
to me like that, Dave.
Don't keep it going. You gotta let it go.
All right.
So the energy of the crew is very well understood. Should Joe go? So over the week, there's been a lot of conversation about our current president, Joe Biden, and his age, more of his age than his performance, than his anything, his age. Just yesterday, last night, I watched the former president, Donald Trump, basically declare that he is running again, and that, you know, I made America great, and then you all stole the election and you messed it up, and I'm gonna make it great again. We're gonna do this again. Is what he said. He's also old though. He's old as well. May not be as old as Joe, but he's old.
How old is Joe?
70. Black, get to work.
I
the researcher.
I'm about to say 72 or 78, and I'm like, if he's 72, he's not
78?
old. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I was thinking that. So we're gonna get facts. Then we need to check and see how old
He's
the Trump is.
79.
79.
Oh my God, he just wanted to put president on his resume, huh?
He'll
Yeah.
be 80 in November.
Oh,
He just wanted to put on his resume.
Yeah, he just wanted to put it on his resume.
my body of work. Like that's like the one that I.
But Donald is 76, though.
Right. So he hasn't aged as agey as Biden has. Like since Joe Biden has gotten in office, he's aged 10 years.
Well, so did Obama.
But it's a different type of aging
That's
though.
every president.
But this is different.
You're the leader of the free world. You
Come
don't-
on.
Nah, that's every. Go back and look at every. Even Clinton. Go back and look at all.
Randall
Yeah, they all
Woodfin has
aged.
aged as the mayor of the city of Birmingham.
Now,
However-
sometimes he be looking young and then he be looking old. Then he go back. I don't know what.
It depends on which weekend.
Maybe
we-
they need to talk and see.
like what's the sauce? So, but you got Joe out here. They got him riding bikes, like doing things that don't make sense for.
He
You know,
failed. Now you
He
know
just got
that's
his foot caught in the dang on pedal. Like
Wait, it don't make sense for an older person to be doing exercise.
no, Chuck. You know that ain't what we
Him.
You shouldn't fall when you stop.
I mean, I tripped the other day.
That's mental illness.
Things do happen. I get it, but this is for like the purpose of this whole thing was that we want to show the president doing things that are youthful and energetic.
Do you think that?
But
Do you think President Biden at 79 is older than former President Trump at 76? Come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
he's an unhealthy. When's the last time y'all looked at the former president? President Trump.
Last night.
Did he? He didn't look unhealthy to you?
his scalp did.
His scalp, weight, eating habits. Like I guarantee you, you put them side by side. You did all these, whatever metrics, whatever.
Yeah.
President Biden is in better shape.
He
And
probably
I
is in
believe
better
that.
shape.
He's in better shape
But he
and
look
better
like
health.
he be
than-
shaking when he be standing still. You know how like the old people have
Yeah.
the shakes. That's how
Yeah.
he
He's
do.
a
He-
leader of the free world, folks. Like,
So they give you the
Was he
shades.
nervous?
you're running the planet. Like, what are you talking about?
I
Yeah,
don't know,
sure.
Maybe we just don't get it.
Chuck said the planet.
The whole
okay.
planet.
I just haven't seen him enough in his presidency. I ain't seen him more.
Look.
But I will say that was not a good idea to put him on a bicycle because, like,
And to
honestly,
run up the steps to get on the plane that time, and he fell like 5 times.
right, like
and
at
I
that
thought that was a
age,
joke.
like falling at that age could be detrimental.
They
So
so that's
look.
life or death.
Comment here. K Ivy is 77. No comment.
No.
Oh,
I can't say what I want to on the radio.
it was, but I'm just like y'all didn't want to say nothing.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
She's probably in better shape than former
Then
President Trump too.
I agree. So let's talk about the generational gap, the generational giving, the generational guides. When I talk about age in servitude or age in leadership, I'm not speaking of it from a you're incapable because you're old. That's not, I'm never speaking of it from that point unless it's the point that you make me have to speak from. Like you're old and you're not flexible, you're not listening, your ideas are old. That's more of where I am with things. It's not about how old you are, it's about how you think and how you lead. If you're stuck in a space to where you can't lead in today's society, or you're not willing to open up and be be teachable, that's when I have concern. Now, if you're just older or an elder and you're able to lead, you're still innovative, you're still sharp, we can work. But the question then comes, if it's not Joe, if it's not Trump, then who? We don't know if nobody has said anybody else.
DeSantis.
So
You kidding me? Y'all don't pay attention to this stuff?
That's
We-
even worse, though.
Yeah,
ain't
it is. Of
That's
course it is.
Way
But
worse.
that's what's going to happen. It's DeSantis and the fact that at this point in time, 2 years out from the election, you do not know who the Democratic nominee is going to
Right.
be is a problem because it's not going to be, no disrespect to the vice president, it's not going to be her either. So
No,
I ain't seen
I
her
mean,
since
at least
one.
Donald sent us some checks though.
We haven't seen either
no,
one
I
of
got my
them.
chicks through.
We done
This
seen
administration.
JoJo a little bit. I ain't seen Cam in a minute.
I ain't seen her in a very long time.
but you don't have to see them. Just, I mean, they're still working.
be
What's she
working.
doing?
I've seen Nancy
Keeping
Pelosi
the-
more. Should Nancy Pelosi run?
Mhm.
Could that
How
happen?
old
Miss
is
the window.
she?
She's old too. She's
Probably miss the
older.
window.
Let me see.
You
Let me
know, we
see.
need somebody else.
So okay, DeSantis.
We don't want him either.
What you want? I mean, you
she
better show
80
these-
Nikki
and-
Haley.
then you- come
Nancy
on.
is
Then
82.
You need to go on and get these people out to vote then. Find
So-
out what you want.
All right, so to get people out to vote on a local level, once upon a time I thought we had the sauce. I thought we had what it took to get people out to vote, to get them interested and involved in political movements and things of that nature. I thought we had that type of influence, and then one day I found out that people don't care who it is that's saying whatever it is to be said. They ain't interested. I found that out, and
A lot of people
Was
feel
it-
like their tune changes once they get in office.
That's dumb.
okay. Okay.
Well, for me, is the voting demographic becoming younger, and they are just not in tune
No.
with. No, you don't think
Yes.
so? Yeah.
Yes. No, the problem is the millennials or whatever, they are single issue voters.
Yes.
So like
Okay.
if there's something, they will vote for a person, but they won't vote for a ticket. They ain't gonna vote for the whole party.
Okay.
Like I know people that pull up to vote and they vote for one person. They don't care about nobody else. 'Cause
Right.
They know
Okay.
that person, or they know that this
That
person stands
issue.
for this, and the rest of them they just leave it blank and they push on.
okay.
I guess my question is, why don't we see more young faces in politics running for these offices?
right.
Everybody here want to be
Right.
an activist.
An
But
activist
even
or an
in,
entertainer.
but even in the presidential,
host.
even in the
Ho-
presidential race,
girl.
even in the presidential race, everybody is old. Like you don't.
Cory Booker.
How old is he?
Oh, okay. Swing it.
So we got to find him a wife.
Well, I mean that
Like
was the
in the
whole
church.
It
thing.
ain't what you
I
doing.
mean that was the whole thing with he was dating Rosario Dawson for a minute, right?
Yes.
And like you see, as soon as that campaign was over, that went.
That was only for the.
Oh, that's what they're
Uh,
doing on the Shy. So
that wa-
okay,
that was
all right.
of convenience, yo. So I mean, that's the problem with like Cory Booker. Like, you ain't gonna elect no man that's not married because you're gonna wonder some things.
What
Right?
we wondering? That ain't
It's-
none of my
oh,
business.
come on.
Okay, boom.
Come
So
on now.
let's go here. Let's go
Don't
here.
do that.
2022, where things are different. Issues are issues, and everything. Everything's out in the open. Everything's out in the open. People are living their lives, and this is what we're encouraging. What's my guy? Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg, yeah.
like
He could be the Secretary of State or transportation. What is he? Secretary of something.
It's
I wanna
thought
say
he do something with transportation.
transportation.
I do something with transportation.
okay, so cool. Cory Booker. If we get to wondering, because there's so many times that we get to wondering, and we still wonder even when you have a wife, but nobody's really concerned because we get that we need leadership. What can the people like? At what point do the people get involved? Stacey Abrams doesn't have a husband, doesn't have the little children to make this beautiful picture
She a
of
black
her
woman.
being a great. What did she
Kay
say?
ain't got no husband.
She a black woman. Y'all,
So
come on, man. Let them
we
play
don't
that.
have to have husbands,
Nope. It's a black
or
woman
either
wave.
we need a white husband.
Nah, it's a black woman wave, man. Like, look at Jefferson County.
But that's
Look-
what I'm saying. Kay Ivey doesn't have a husband.
yeah, but Kay Ivey got in there by
Mm.
happenstance, and like once you in there,
She keep coming back.
I mean, because she's a Republican and she's a governor, so,
So
like,
so
you live in a red state.
So for those of you who are listening at home, the reason that this conversation is so vital because it's talking about the look, the image of politics. We're losing because of how we think things are supposed to look.
Yeah.
So
And stereotypical politics is what keeps us in the position that we're in.
so is it? Do you have to be married in order to hold these positions?
You a black man in America? People wondering about you. Absolutely, 100%.
So a black man in America, you need a wife. Black woman in America, you don't need anything but your
Probably
strong
don't.
self.
Right. Because the black women gonna.
So
come
what
behind
about a white woman or a white man?
you. White man can be gay. Black guy can't.
Okay.
Black folks are the most conservative people on the planet when it comes to that sexuality stuff. I don't care what you say,
I can
Mm.
agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
especially
then-
the old guard too, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the white women. Where do they fall?
Right.
That's who you need to appeal to if you want to make political change. Like white women, that's the demographic that Democrats, whomever, that's what you need to tap into because they're the ones. Black folks gonna mobilize to a degree. Black
Right.
women gonna mobilize 100%. Black men, it depends, right?
And black women mobilize around issues once again.
Also mobilize around black women.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
White women don't vote for white women. Black women do.
And then we find out that the other black woman that we mobilize around is
Miss
mentally ill.
Leah.
All right.
Is what?
mentally
Mentally
ill.
ill.
Got a little touch of it.
Who are we talking about?
Nobody in particular.
Oh. I'm lost. Y'all know I don't be knowing all this stuff.
No, this is just fact.
Just generals talking.
You know,
Yeah.
the general consensus of those who will put themselves in a position to lead in that way. So another thing came up Friday or Thursday when I was talking about the president's age and his influence is why don't they work after they're out of office? I'm like, well, because
They tired.
What do you expect?
They look tired.
A lot of 'em-
Already.
A lot of them on speaker circuits, right? Like they
Mhm.
go around
Write
doing
a
book
book.
tours and speak. And I mean, look, if you're getting 400 a pop to go talk to a class for 3 days, like I'm not gonna work either. Carter's probably the only one because he's an ambassador, right?
Yeah, I'm out of here. Write a book, make some speeches about my time in the office. So, what would it take to make you all step your game up?
Who you talking about?
Oh, you all
To do what?
To do what?
to be a political figure, to be a leader in the free world.
Hey man, I lost an election, so I don't know who you.
You
talking
you
to.
did you did run,
I
and
mean,
that you got
You
to
did.
run.
I would have voted for you.
You didn't.
I didn't vote.
You weren't vital yet. Oh,
I was. Hey, well, hold. Don't come around this corner.
You weren't
Don't
shirted
come around-
yet.
Don't come around this corner now.
You weren't shirted yet.
That's not true.
But if you
I
weren't
mean-
on the show.
Was I?
No.
No.
Okay.
But
I
now
vote
that
for
you're here, you
everybody
should
to
run
be
again.
associated. You should.
Right.
I mean, you know,
I'm gonna
good
go
right
hard
now.
for you too.
I
What up,
help,
Courtney?
I help
Beasley?
people. It worked out. I help people on a daily basis.
Yeah. So okay, let's look at the idea of what made you say I'm going to try. What made you say that?
There was a need at that point. It just was, and so look, putting yourself out there for political office is tough
Yeah.
because I'm gonna tell you, running for office sucks. Like
Yeah.
you got to be a certain type of person, and like I'm not that person. I was able to do it because like I can get out there and get friendly with folks, like,
Mhm.
whatever. But it still work, and it impacts your livelihood. It
Mhm.
impacts your relationships 100%. Like people always talk about you run for office, you're gonna lose at least 5 friends. I only
Mhm.
lost 1, but I got 3 grudges. We ain't gonna talk about that. And if you know me, you know who they are.
Okay.
So it's just tough though, man, because a lot of times it's not a meritocracy, right? It's a popularity contest.
It is a
Mhm.
popularity contest. And one thing about change, you don't have to be popular to make a change.
Right.
But you kind of have to be popular a little bit to speak to the people who are the ones that respond, especially here. Now, we don't like we say
Yeah.
all the time, we don't know what it's like in other places because we're not there. So I don't know their inner circle. But you know for damn sure in Birmingham, oh, I don't know them. They ain't go to high school with me.
Right. They're not in my sorority. They're not in my
School.
frat.
High school girl.
What school they
right,
went
they ain't
to?
play- that ain't my
They don't go to my
bro.
church.
What?
I mean, it's crazy though, because the thing that drives me
That's
nuts,
cool.
and I tell people all the time, you see somebody run for office, you ain't know them beforehand, that's fine. Because that happened to me but if you are unsuccessful, you need to still stay out there.
Right.
It's the people who run and then you don't see them again. It's like, oh, well, you just trying to be opportunistic. Like you weren't really trying to be about the people. You weren't really trying to be about public service. Like that's a tough thing. You got to be cut a little different because there's some people I can name that I'm not going to, but they run, they unsuccessful. You don't see them again. It's like, well, you just wanted a job. You didn't want to help people for real.
And then the people that run for like different positions, just whatever. Like you may see them on the school board.
Oh, the
slate
perpetual
one-
runners.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
any
the-
election.
that's
You
one
gotta
of
A
the
run.
career runner.
Those
He's
are
a
the
runner.
people
He's
that
a
just-
track star.
They just need a gig, man. It's like you jump from. Well, see if I say anything, somebody gonna get. If you jump from right this to this to this to this, and like you're not
And
consistent,
they're all different.
and they're
types
all
of-
different. People looking at you nuts. Like, oh, you just want a gig. You just want to say that you're an elected official.
Or do I just want to make a change so bad I can change it anywhere?
No,
That's different.
no,
Okay.
you got to find your focus.
That
Having that elected official title though, that's that inner circle,
it is.
and that's that
That's your tickets to the classic.
that's that
your-
top. And you know, and it's
Right.
crazy because that's that. You see some of the people that are in the inner circle, and it looks like the inner circle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, you can identify
you
from
can,
the
yeah,
outer
you
circle.
can identify it. Yeah.
So the inner circle, the big like, let's go there, Dave. Why won't you run for a political office?
To be honest with you, I don't know because I've never thought about running for a political office. I'm a musician. You know what
Okay,
I mean? I
okay.
deal with, and then too, outside of that, I love talking to young men in my daily job, you know, helping folks, you know, find their purpose in life. But
Mhm.
politically, I've never thought about it. I just love my city. I'm just one of them dudes that's like, hey, I gotta live here. So hey, let's make the best of it. People say all the time, you need to be on city council all this time. I've never thought about it. You know, I have never ever thought about it.
Bill Clinton played the saxophone. What's your point?
Right.
He a musician.
I love Bill Clinton.
Once again, I've never thought about that. You know,
So-
not saying that I won't do it, but I don't know where to begin to do it.
Okay.
I don't know the steps of doing it.
Just say it. Somebody else will do it for you.
Man, y'all want me to run for office, man? Put me out there. I'm still be I'm still rocking fitted caps and Adidas though. And listen to Omar.
That's what we need because like the old way, we can't keep doing things the same way if we want to move and be progressive in our city.
If I preach, I'm gonna have an Adidas robe. It's gonna be black robe with
You
3
can be
stripes down
sponsored.
the side.
That'd be really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I'm gonna say Jack instead of saying hallelujah. I'm gonna be like, look here, Jack, in my sermon.
Brothers and sisters, collectively, Jack.
And we-
Are you sick?
Jack?
Look at you.
I was yelling. He coughed and asked me, was I sick?
Right. I just saw that too. Like,
No,
And all
I
of us were like,
no, I was yelling at the Greek picnic. I had to host a stroll off. So yeah, I'm good.
he was being a part of the inner circle.
Hey, you part of the Panhellenic Council? Hey, but listen, back for real. You don't have to be the candidate to make change, right? Like you can be.
Okay.
You can also be the person. You can be. Not everybody's supposed to be Pinocchio. Some people need to be Geppetto, right? And so like you can be. You can find people to fit a need, put them out there, and then be the person like sort of controlling the narrative behind the scenes. Like,
Right.
That's also important too, having people behind you. Yeah.
That was a point in time when I was very vocal and like
Right. Amen. Yeah.
very out and was just like, yeah, you know, I would hear that often then. I changed my ways, but I would hear that often then. Like, you should run. You should run for city council. No, I shouldn't. So first reason I shouldn't is because sometimes I don't want to get up and go to work. So me on Tuesday at 9, you know what? I'm not in the mood. I'm not going today. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how they do that. Second part, I'm not answering the phone today.
Well, no, you shouldn't run for
Right. I don't, I do what I want to do when I want to. And I don't want to tend to that issue that you're talking about right now because I have these issues over here. So, yeah.
That's the thing again. Like when you put yourself out there, you're really supposed to be representing the public and your
Yeah.
constituents. And like it's a 24-hour gig.
Even
like,
though it's part time, right?
nah, city council ain't part time. Miss me with all
The
that.
lie they tell.
No, yeah, man, those folks phone me ringing at 3:00 in the morning. That ain't
Right.
no part time
Mm-mm,
gig.
don't call
Pay
me.
them more too, but that's another.
Do not
Yeah.
disturb.
Yeah. So, like,
Mm-mm.
you got to be real about it. So, the reasons that Dave gave are very much true. I'm an individual to the heart. And if I decide that, you know what? Who's resigned? Has anybody ever resigned midterm?
Parker's mom passed away,
Okay.
but that's probably the only person.
I can't remember anybody saying,
Did
you know what? I
Roberson?
don't want to do this.
Roberson did, maybe, or did he?
I don't think
Because his kid went to Thompson, so they
He
moved to
resigned.
Alabaster.
He resigned.
I think but for family reasons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
was
Like Trey
Fine.
went down to Thompson to play football, and I think Mama Roberson got a job in Alabaster. So I
Yeah.
think,
Mhm.
but
So,
other
okay.
than that,
Okay, so I would move for that reason, but somebody to just say, you know what, I don't want to do it no more. Thank y'all for the time.
Right, and that's the energy that you be on. Like,
Right.
I don't want to no more.
But
And
then-
you can't do that. I
Right,
be
I
like,
don't want to.
and me being a friend, I'm like, girl, don't then.
because if you
Don't
do that,
go.
that's like a blight on the office too. Like a little bit like that. You're responsible for that. So like,
Yeah, so I'm not going to be. So don't ask. Don't keep asking. Whenever, if God ever says, "Hey, you all are gonna do these things," okay, y'all. So I saw it in the clouds again. I was driving down the street and I saw President of the United States. Y'all ready? I couldn't leave that.
I be like, what?
Let me call you back.
Yeah, like, no,
Right,
don't hang up. Don't hang up.
Girl, the
What's
turtle
up,
done crawled
Patricia
out the tank. Let me call
Todd?
you back.
Hey, boo. Pat says it is hard to run for office. And Pat, from like getting in the office, it's not only hard to run, it's hard to sit in it. So like people like to say that, they told me I should run for office. Yeah, they told you that, but you got to know that that's something that you're really capable of and able to do and have a heart for. I definitely have a heart for the people and for the issues, but I don't want to turn my news on and I hear the left or the right or the middle talking about me and I can't call and like blow on them or send them a nice email or text message or pull up. I don't want to be in that position.
so I mean, it's also hard because
Right.
sometimes depending on what you're running for, you got to be anointed. Like the people got to tap you, and like they ain't always with you. They can talk
Mm.
about it. Oh, you should do this, but they just telling you that they're gonna be with you because everybody ain't with you.
Yeah. Okay. Should Joe go? We
Yeah.
got to that point because of that, but we don't. Oh, she said you have to have thick skin. Yeah, thick skin and a whole lot of time to just even be. Yeah, like no. Should Joe go? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? For
One
who?
guess.
He should just go. Like, we just need, I don't know who we going to trade him in for, but
You think? Okay.
we need a new car.
We got to talk about it, like because this is where we are, and for the most part, the political process doesn't start for most people until it's in mainstream media. It doesn't start now where we can talk about it rather intelligently and say that okay, DeSantis is up. Like I said, Nikki Haley is kind of if Trump runs, she's not running, but if Trump doesn't run, she's running. But then if DeSantis runs, we don't know what she's gonna do. And I kind of feel like I would prefer Nikki Haley over DeSantis, even though she says the exact same things that Trump
Yeah.
says.
How old is President Biden again?
79.
He can't run again. Then won't he be aged out?
You can age out.
You can't run past the age of 80, right?
I didn't know that.
Well, why are we even having a discussion nationally if that's a thing?
I don't
Right.
know. Then maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see.
I know there are age out things for certain positions, maybe not for
This is why I want our students. This is why I want teachers.
civics.
So look, there was a caller that said that back in the day there used to be a Saturday civic school.
They need to bring civics back
Wouldn't
at some
that be
point.
good? Well, I wonder if that, and I hadn't looked it up. I hadn't had a chance to. Oh, it's no age limit. Thanks, Pat.
Okay.
But like, I wonder if that was optional or did you have to do it to renew your license or what? But that would be something great
should
to
do that.
Yeah, like Saturday civic school. Chuck,
I mean,
think about
because again, people don't know. That's like when I grew up. When most of y'all grew up, I guess, like had to take civics,
No
and
way,
like
yeah,
voting
you
wasn't
do.
a choice. So you turn 18, you vote. That's
Yeah.
it. Because they teach it. They teach you that in school, just like on a separate end driving school. Like right. So
why was I going to that next?
yeah. So like the amount of people that we see at our day job, the number one thing is like people don't have a driver's license.
Man, I
I ain't
get
never
so
had
sick
one.
of it. Me and we were just talking about this the other night.
It's
Like,
no desire.
why
for
don't
Hold
they
on,
them to
hold on,
do
hold on.
drive.
driver's
Hold on.
licenses?
And I don't know, Dave, if you were there that day, but like, old boy had like 6, like driving while spending driving, blah 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 blah. Well, we do it a day job, right? And I was like, "Did you drive here?" He was like, "I have no choice." And they be looking shook. I'm
Whether
like,
a
"Hey man,
license
be
or not,
careful."
I'm gonna drive.
And the thing of it is not that they've had license, and a lot of them have been taken. A lot of people have never had them. Like when I
Yeah.
was 15 and got
Baby.
that permit, I couldn't wait for my mom to take me to
Do you hear
78
me?
Highway to get that
Look.
license. But a lot of people just never,
No desire.
they've
And-
never, no, they never
and-
want them.
Honestly, I didn't get my permit when I was 15, but I got my permit and my license in the same day when I turned 16 because I had a car at that point.
Yeah.
But like now I see 18-year-olds do not have a license
18.
at all.
No, we talking about 35, 40.
Real grown people.
50, yeah,
They
like
have
grown,
never had a
grown.
license.
Never had a driver's
You know what?
license.
That's just sorry.
Not suspended, not revoked. Never had one.
And then you've racked up a bunch of tickets, like $8,000 worth of tickets over the years. So now you can't get a license, and it's harder to get a license.
So I
'Cause
wonder
you can
what's
still get
stopping them from
tickets.
even, is it the driving right? I've been driving wrong so long, I'm scared to take the
Well,
test.
all right. So hold on. There's a socioeconomic component to this too.
Okay.
Because there are people I know for a fact, because again, at the day job,
I'm just
whatever,
confused.
that
I'm
they
so
either
confused.
some people have, like, we can talk about education. Some people have, like, they don't test well. That's part one.
Okay.
There are some people who they cannot find somebody with a vehicle that has a proper tag, proper insurance,
Okay.
up to
Okay.
code to be
That
able to
makes
take them.
sense.
Because you got to, because a vehicle has to pass an inspection before you can drive that vehicle
Yeah,
for
they-
your
they
driver's
And
do
see,
walk
license.
we don't know
around.
none of that because we got ours when we were teenagers.
Exactly.
So you wouldn't
And
even
you
watch
just-
one. You just sitting in the car like,
So you just
Let's
in the
go.
y'all just in the fold. We in the fold because we got licenses at 16, 17, whatever. But like these
Right.
folks out here now, again, they not teaching driver's ed. So like they just don't know. And like,
They
you
don't
know, it's
teach
hard out
drivers
here.
ed.
Yes, they
teach
do.
drivers ed
At
in my
Ramsey,
school.
they do.
Okay, that's Ramsey. The rest of them, they don't.
They don't.
Trust me, I know because I talked to these folks. I'm like, well, it was not until my second year at my job, and that's when I realized, like, y'all ain't never had no license. Like, nah, like,
so I'm
Like, I'd
learning
be-
that in session where I'm thinking like, so I'm looking at it from a different angle about anxiety. I'm so anxious in today's society to drive. I'm like, so has there been a car accident? Do you know somebody that was killed in an accident? No. So 16 and you are that level of anxiety that you don't want to drive a car and that you'll be driven around forever. Yeah.
My
yeah.
kid's stepsister was that way. She I don't think she got a license until she was 18. And that's because they made her. She didn't want
It's-
to.
Oh man.
A driver's license is not important to people nowadays until they realize later on in life that you have to have a driver's license in order to move through life. Because no matter where you go, the first thing they're going to say is, let me get a copy of your license.
Right.
Right.
Or
It's
at least
not-
a non-driver's ID, right?
At my job,
It's
we
not
do.
until then we get people that says, I'm trying to purchase a house and I need this. I got to get this off of. Or I'm trying to get a car. I'm trying to
I
get.
gotta get this off. Where is it?
like at
What?
my job, like we won't even see you unless you have a photo ID.
right.
And you can have a photo ID and not be a driver.
But who
Uh,
else, like who got a library card?
Yeah.
But my 14-year-old has a non-driver's ID. So you can get a
You
You
non-driver's
can't get-
ID.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with Vital. What's your comment?
Hey, what's happening?
What up, Will?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm so. My dad passed this past Monday, so I'm kind of in between.
You, my friend, are in my prayers, and I got to reach out to you outside of this. So I will be doing that soon.
All right, well, appreciate it. But I do have a comment on the president issue that y'all have been talking about. I feel like that if we want to replace a person, who are we going to replace them with?
Mhm.
I think that should be the main thing. And if there's no one to replace them with, then keep who we have. Because the last 4 years was awful. And I hear some people talk about, the president, especially with unemployment, had kept it so long and people don't want to work now and stuff like that.
Right.
But if you don't have that job, you don't know how hard it is it's hard enough to run your house, never less the country.
Right. I agree. So we should keep him.
I would,
Okay.
unless it's somebody else out there that's better.
What about you? Are you interested? Oh, We was like, I'm not gonna answer that question.
I'm just gonna hang up.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna just hold the phone. So the homie Will said, keep Biden. Got this comment right here from a friend of ours on social media. It's very common for people in NYC, CHI, Philly, etc., that do not have driver's licenses due to the reliance on public transportation, i.e., subways, etc. And that's the first thing that came to mind for me. I was thinking, if and when I move, I am not taking my vehicle.
I get that. Like
It's so
it.
easy.
DC, Chicago too, because of public transportation. You take the L, take the metro in DC. I
Right.
get that there, but we in the South.
Right.
Like if you in Atlanta, you
But you
take the
got a
MARTA.
you got a max bus that people won't
Mm-mm.
even get on.
That's because they don't. I'm sorry. I know the
Getting
people.
on now?
I know the transit system. To get on a MARTA?
Get a, what you say?
Since when? Not to get a MARTA. Not to get a MARTA pass.
No, I'm saying in that even you can have a MARTA pass, but the MARTA does. Think about it, Chuck. After you ride so far on the MARTA, you got to go to what, CCT.
Well, it depends on where you try.
So you still need a car. I still had my car.
Like,
I lived there. I
the,
still
And
rode.
it's still Southern too.
Yeah. I
the
still
folks
rode
from
the-
up top, I get
what's
it.
that?
You live up top, you from up there, I get that because again, public transportation is reliable. These trains gonna run on
Right.
schedule.
Yes.
Here, the transit system, man, they need some help, and right, they need an influx of money because, like, again, talk about our day job. It's cats 2-3 hours late because they either missed the bus or the bus broke down. They couldn't get a transfer, or they missed a transfer because of whatever. And like I done seen cats walk 2-3 miles.
Yeah.
Coming back, we're going to talk about Birmingham transportation because that's where we are now. We will be right back. You're listening to Vital right here on V94.9 WATV. Just give us about 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
My mama made me catch the bus one time. I cried.
First hour went by fast.
I keep telling myself I gotta go to Belsman. I gotta peek my baby. I keep telling myself so I don't forget.
We're thinking and listening. Welcome back to the show. Thank you, Gap Tooth. Welcome in, y'all. We've been having some just round the way conversation. This is what we do on Vital Sunday nights at 7 p.m. right here on B94.9 WATV. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you're watching live watchers at this moment, let me see if I can see any of you. I see Reddy Kruger. What up? What up? What up? Ella. Hey, hey, hey. And the rest of you, I can't see who you are, but I see you there. So hey to you. Comment and let me know who you are and where you are. We appreciate you for taking some time out of your Sunday night to tune in. I love it. I appreciate you.
Hey, shout out to Gap Tooth too.
Shout out.
He can
Yes,
go.
up.
He can go. He can go.
Yeah,
He can
yeah. Yep. Only the dopest, right? So we were talking about some concepts that we need to, and I call them concepts because for a lot of people, they aren't reality. They are just thoughts. Like people don't know they don't know what it's like to ride on public transportation in any way.
Not a
Like,
clue. Like I've ridden the MARTA just to have that experience.
Okay.
I've ridden the train in DC and Maryland, but Birmingham, I ain't get on that bus.
why?
I'm just not.
So that's the attitude, right? I always talk about I'll walk. Like I don't mind walking to wherever it is. And my gonna be like, why you want to walk like at the summit? If I park down at Saks and I walk all the way up to Chopped, like she be mad.
It's a different culture.
But we walked yesterday
I'll tell you why too.
out there, and
Right.
we
But
walked
that-
around yesterday.
Yeah, and it wasn't far.
It
but
wasn't.
I'm like, I will. Why not? Like, why you want to walk? So public transportation in Birmingham, the public transportation that we have a couple of options. We have the Max bus. Max puts on for us right here at B94.9. And also I did a bus tour with Max a couple of years ago to go around. It was the Vital Views bus tour. We got on a Max bus. We did,
I remember.
right?
Yeah.
So being on the bus in that capacity was cool
It
because we didn't have
was.
to get off and go. So we were just getting off at stops that
And
we
it wasn't
created.
That we
Nobody else
wanted
on
to
there.
go.
So what? Okay.
Right. We were able
Hold on.
to
There's nobody else there.
That says a lot, though.
And because it was y'all, that joint ran on time too.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't. No, it didn't.
No,
Oh,
It,
damn.
it wasn't on time.
wasn't.
But
Well-
it was fun because it was us and we knew who we were with.
Right.
We can't decide who else gets on the bus on the Max if we get on the Max bus to go to work.
but you can't decide when you get on the train anywhere else. Like you get on and you get off because I got to get where I'm going. So why? And I don't want to be okay. Chuck, I'm gonna let you speak first.
Trains run regularly. Like that's the difference. Like one Max, if something happens to a Max bus, like I see one broken down probably I don't want to say every month, but like
This
maybe.
is definitely every month.
Okay, so like one bus breaks down, that throws a whole day off.
True.
Mhm.
Right. And so like people missing transfers and like you don't know because it's not like there's some sort of system like you can look online, look through your phone or whatever. You just sitting at the bus stop waiting.
Waiting.
And that's not because of the folks at the Max Transit System. Like what's Celeste, I think. Like they're trying to do good things. They're trying to, isn't that her name?
Something like that. I don't want to call
With
names.
the short hair,
Mhm.
with the glasses.
Mhm.
Real cool woman. She got innovative ideas, but she's got to get money in. She got to get grants and like funded in or whatever. Like she wants to transform the city, but it's a little different. It's a little difficult because we're that far behind.
What about okay, so I don't want to, we're jumping all over the place. I'm so eager to have this conversation. The idea of the buses. So let's talk about, I think people have to get outside of their neighborhood to experience other places to see that it's okay.
People think buses are poor here.
Right.
That's a mindset. I'm
And
gonna say
that's
it.
it.
Didn't
Y'all
we talk
tripping.
about that
Y'all
dancing
yesterday?
around.
Oh, if I see you at the bus stop, like you
Like,
down
she
bad,
down
ain't
bad.
you?
Ooh.
girl.
Yeah, like,
Who was
that's-
at the bus stop with all them groceries and stuff? Like,
Why would you ride the bus if you have a car and you have groceries?
Why
Why are you
not?
doing that?
Because it's a lot
it's
cheaper.
$250.
And you not impacting the carbon footprint. But
So
people think
now
riding
you
the
just
bus
on the
is
bus
poor.
with your arms hurt.
Okay, I mean, you know, people
Stop
think.
buying more than you need. Buy what you need.
Well, okay, I need a lot.
At that one time. So look, this is just it's
But that's a
it's so
mindset.
deep, right? Like
The
if I'm
mindset.
walking somewhere, I'm broke, I'm tired, I'm
On that
depressed,
stuff.
I'm on dope, right? Like no, I'm walking. It's healthy to walk,
It
and it's
depends
not
on
that
where you
far.
at walking.
And then that's the other
That's
thing.
what-
These are my streets. I'm at home. Why can't I walk in Kingston?
You
Why
not
you
from
over there?
Kingston, so that would be the first question. What you
Right.
doing over here?
Because I walk in Brooklyn.
No,
I walk
cool.
eh,
No,
No,
ma'am.
Ain't no
Reality is
shopping
different.
in Kingston. What you over here for?
cause why not?
Yeah, first-
Typically, I think it's
she
also.
snow lines. That's
Right.
the first thing we think.
I think it's urban planning too, right? Like,
She snow lines, and that's just
Oh,
it.
Yep.
What?
On that power.
You see what I'm talking about? Though? Like at home.
on that booger sugar.
This is what you
Yo.
get because
Like
I'm
that.
outside walking.
Like that- like that
Because
booger
you're
sugar.
outside walking in Kingston. Now,
Okay.
music is all right because
Dang.
From
But,
Easley.
but I can honestly truly say there was a time in New York. I used to visit there a lot. That if you wasn't like from Brooklyn,
You couldn't walk.
you couldn't walk in no Brooklyn. And if you wasn't
Yeah,
from like
see?
around Red Hook, you couldn't just.
I can't go walk on Sugar Hill.
Yeah, you couldn't just.
Why?
I mean, no. Yeah, it
I'm in
was a time.
Chicago. I can't go walk up there by
If you from Southeast DC, you can't just go to Northeast. Like
that's
that.
not where you
over in
from.
Atlanta.
Now you can't. Everything is gentrified now.
But okay. But we don't want that to happen to Birmingham. But we want to be able to out. Does gentrification mean that that's what makes your area better
You
and
better
more
start
welcoming?
It can be.
gentrifying before you just start
Oh
walking
my
over
Right.
goodness
because
gracious!
Can be, but also part of the problem, I think, like the South is a little too sprawling, right? And like some of this is urban planning, like the way these cities were constructed. So like the
Oh
South is
my
not
goodness
designed for people
gracious.
to walk. It's designed for people to go, to like
The
be in big-
farm.
Yeah. I mean, it's an agrarian versus an industrial like place, right? So like
Yeah.
typically when you had like a bunch of industries, you had to get your workers to this, not the coal mines, but like up top, you had to get the people to like whatever. And so you
Mhm.
had to
the
provide
iron
transport.
and the
You had to
yeah.
provide transportation. And like the South wasn't really constructed like that. So it's like it's not just us. I think it's like a mentality a pervasive mentality that's been there for an extended period of time.
Mhm.
It's time. Oh, it's time, baby. So look, Atlanta, Georgia. We have this conversation often. Every time we start talking about the growth of the Magic City, we have to reflect on the growth of Atlanta. The small, like the chocolate city that has the major hub, the busiest airport in the United States is in Atlanta, Georgia. Right in the world, right? Not just so the biggest one, the busiest one.
It's too crowded. I don't like it.
But why does Atlanta always have to come up when we talk about the growth of Birmingham?
Right.
Because
Because you hear how we talk about Birmingham, I can't go walk in Kingston because we ain't gentrified enough.
But you can't go walk in
Yeah.
Vine City either if you
You
ain't
ain't just
from
walking in
around
Woodville.
there.
Man.
No,
I
you
think-
can't.
I
You
think
can't
every-
just go walk in the
What
bluffs.
if I go walk over there? But
You
like
can't pull
you,
up in College Park and you from Stone Mountain. You can't do that.
because it's not Atlanta.
You can't pull up.
Because it's not
Well,
Atlanta.
that's true.
Yeah, but look though, you go places. Like I feel like I'm a world citizen. I haven't gone anywhere where I didn't feel comfortable. I can't go to Memphis and go chill, walk around.
You can't admit. I mean, but the way the city of Memphis is constructed, sure, because it's constructed that way. Memphis is also one of those places.
So it's about the construction of the city and not the mindset.
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay. So I'm gonna ride the Max bus. Chuck, I need you to get ready.
I'm with it.
We're going together.
There you go.
Listen
I
to
have
this.
fun.
I'm with the people, yo. Let's do it.
See.
I told you it's a mindset. People think riding the bus is poor.
So the researcher's gonna sit on the sidewalk and talk about it.
Yeah,
I
she is.
am.
She gonna pull up some data about
I am.
the amount of people
On the
riding the bus.
statistics of what happens to people that ride the bus.
Nothing. We going quicker than you.
That's
Because we're not
right.
in traffic. I don't have to
No,
blow
you're
my
not.
own.
Unless the
horn.
bus
Those
break
don't
down.
Right.
Unless the
And
bus break down.
Oh my
Now you
God.
call me because you
Exactly,
need
you need a ride.
Yeah, nope, I'm busy.
God. What is going on? So comments. Hey, Latanya. Latanya says, when I lived in Atlanta, I had a car, but I rode the bus and train every day. The difference is the bus passed my apartment every 20 minutes, whereas here it's once an hour.
Right.
And it would make sense if the Max bus was a reliable system for
Okay.
people who who are commuters. But and then where are you commuting from?
Hoover.
Really?
Hoover.
Center Point,
It's just like
right? The outskirts.
I mean, think about it. Like, even though I talked about Via when we were offline or whatever, like there's some issues with Via too. Like, it's cheap; it's $1.50. But Via is about to expand their footprint because they've gotten so many users who are now. Because that was the whole thing when they started. They had only a very small footprint, and they had
Okay.
to get to a certain number
Mhm.
in order for them to expand. And the pandemic happened, like whatever, so people weren't riding. But I think now they're about to expand that because they got a lot of people taking Via now.
And it's via AKA on demand or
Yes.
on. I think it's on demand. So like I was saying for the transportation that we do have in the city, people don't know about. You see them like
Yeah.
you see you all have seen the buses, the vans, right?
Little blue. Some of the vans, like now they have independent people working.
Why
for
they
Via too.
looking? Why? What
I
are
ain't
they
never
doing?
seen that.
You see how they
They're-
just
well,
looking?
because again,
I work from home and I don't come outside.
it depends on where you live too. Like if you live downtown, if you
I live in
downtown,
Gardendale.
you live what?
I live in Gardendale.
There ain't no Via going to Gardendale.
Yeah, see.
You out there with the white folks.
Never. Never.
Y'all got good.
But like, okay,
Well, I
so,
live in
Good car.
Ensley and I ain't seen no Via.
No, because
so
they haven't
are-
expanded out there yet.
But they,
Oh.
but they are.
They run to the Crossplex.
There's a pickup spot at the Old Family Dollar on 3rd.
Yeah.
So like you got
The
spots.
old family Dollar.
Right.
What?
Ready to go over there.
Get off my radio. Okay, another comment. Unfortunately,
Trying
in
to
Birmingham, man, y'all gotta do it. I'm holding auditions.
So you want me to go to the
we
old
need some
family- wait a minute,
gentrified
wait a
I got a
people.
minute.
shucking job to get
Let
back
me make
to.
sure. Just let me make sure though. So you want me to go to the old Family Dollar on 3rd?
No, you
And
don't
wait
have
on
to.
the
No,
ride.
they
That's
come to
right.
you.
You don't have to go anywhere.
come
Oh, you
to
don't have to
you.
go there. Oh, okay, well, you said they pick up there.
No,
so-
that's support. That's like that's the
Yeah,
guy.
it's a hub, but like it's
Baby,
just like
no, you.
We would need
Oh, you
extra
lying.
details. You
It's
be
just-
just saying to like
it's
you
like
just saying
it's like
no.
Uber.
Carmen said you be saying anything.
It's like
Right.
it's like Uber and Lyft. Like there's an app.
Yeah.
You plug in your information
And
in.
who runs this program? Is it a
Birmingham.
Birmingham? Okay.
Oh,
So-
it's a local Birmingham.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
a transportation thing, right? And
Welcome
so,
to
like,
Vital.
wherever you go, if you're in their little transit system, it doesn't matter if you go from the farthest point to the farthest point. It's $1.50.
Okay.
Boom.
That's
you
it.
go all over the city. We need to set up something to get them on to educate
That's
you off.
interesting.
All right,
How do
next.
y'all not know about this?
Don't do it.
So
Don't
we
worry
got a
about it.
call?
Unfortunately,
I got a car too.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
Not right now.
Wait a minute, because see, no, this is the
That's why
ungentrified
we
part.
don't know.
Well, you live in Gardendale,
Unfortunately,
that's
in
why.
Birmingham, public transportation has a reputation of being for the disenfranchised poor. Yes, back in the 70s, 60s, even during segregation, people didn't have cars like what we see today. Therefore, people needed buses. Clayton Davis says takes $120 to fill my truck. I ride the bus to work for $40 a month. Don't care who see me.
You ride the
LOL.
Max bus?
Thank you, Clayton. Is it the max that you ride? I
Ain't
would
no other
assume so.
bus.
Yeah, I would assume so.
We only got one system.
Yeah, so that's what's up. $120 versus 40, and he's actually paying attention to it and seeing the difference. I rock with you, sir. Ignacio says because Atlanta stole Birmingham's progressive opportunities, and thus because
No.
and thus
No.
because the jealous older brother that's
Log
always
off,
trying to
sir.
catch up to overachieve a little
sir.
brother.
Hold
Wow.
on. There are two reasons. Hold on. Let me just get this. I'm so tired. Listen, Birmingham made a mistake. They did. We did. But part of it was not on us. Two reasons. We did not get an international airport, but we weren't going to get it anyway because we're not on the Eastern Seaboard. We're not on Eastern time. That's also an unwritten rule. That's an unspoken thing about why it went to Atlanta because it lined up with the coast. The timing. That's what it is. Like,
That's what it is, but it's still the idea that it may be this conspiracy that it was offered to Birmingham and the administration at that time declined.
that is part. Yes, that
Like
is true,
I
but that
hear
doesn't
a
mean-
lot of that though.
That's true, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get it. And like Coca-Cola wasn't here. So like, it's a multitude of factors. It's not like you can't just blame the old regime and say it's just their fault. You don't know. There were
It
other
wasn't
things that were
supposed to
involved in it.
happen. It just
Like
wasn't
we on
supposed
Central
to happen.
Time.
We keep living on that.
The Eastern Seaboard is on Eastern Time. The times don't match up. That's a part of it.
and
Look
if
it
we're gonna
up.
be a major hub, and then like where would okay. Dave, you feel away?
He
I
do.
just said so many people keep harping on that
Mhm.
we didn't get Six Flags and we didn't get the airport.
We got
Bruh,
Alabama
that was-
Adventure.
That
and we
was
got Shuttle
100 years ago. But you got to move forward. If you keep harping on that, then Birmingham will never live to its full potential because that is an argument every time this comes up about Six Flags, Coca-Cola, what else? The airport. What else? Name something.
I
What else?
mean, just the energy of it.
Well, I
Up all
mean, for
night, the
people-
clubs, the artists, the talent. We don't have record labels. We don't
But
have.
this what I tell people at the age I am now. I remember when Atlanta was nothing more than Six Flags and the Underground.
Oh, I remember. The
I missed the underground
And,
too.
and the Falcons and the
Not
Braves
bad.
played
It's
at
not
Old
the same.
Fulton County Stadium. So you have to realize that certain cities were made to be major cities.
Mhm.
Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. They were made to be major cities. Places like Dallas, Houston, Atlanta. That wasn't it. It's just it's a gumbo pot of people from these major cities
Mhm.
moving where living is cheaper, and you can instead of paying $300,000, $400,000 for a bungalow, you can get you a
whole
5-bedroom
house.
house or a
Right, right.
brownstone. So you have to start somewhere. You have to realize that those cities started somewhere, and the only reason why people in Birmingham keep comparing Birmingham to Atlanta is because it's 2 CDs up the road.
Everybody that be talking about Atlanta, they mad about the stadium. They mad about like all this progression and stuff. But y'all keep talking about Atlanta though, and keep killing what Birmingham trying to do.
So when I think about cities, I think about now I see, you have to go to grow. You have to see other things to have something to compare it to. You can't just read a textbook in the 6th grade and think that you can apply that to your adulting. You have to see it. You have to experience it. So when cities grow, and what I'm starting to see is that Dave may have an idea and Dave may have some investors. They do what they do over here. I'm not mad at that. Then I get with Courtney. We get some investors. We do what we're doing right here. Black is over in her borough, her neighborhood, her community. She and Chuck get together. They do what they're doing over there.
That research institute.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then when people from other cities come in, they don't see us that did it. They see this stuff. They see this city. They see all of this different stuff that's happening in Birmingham because nobody was concerned about, well, who did that? Oh, I don't like him because we went to where together? High school. Or yeah.
And then
Nuke is New
Y'all
Capitol.
done
They
let
can't
these
say
old
Capitol.
weeks tear
boy,
y'all up,
this
man.
alumni day turned into alumni week to the
Yeah.
alumni month.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But and the thing of it is, Birmingham has more momentum now than I've ever seen ever in life. And some people are still holding on. You've never heard anybody say, man, Birmingham ain't Bama like Vermont is. Cause Birmingham, have you ever been to Ottawa? It's juking over there.
I'm trying to go. I
But
wanna
we
see.
always compare it to
wanna
next
see.
door because we talk about people don't have driver's license, right? So let's tie it all back. Some people have never gone any farther than Atlanta, New Orleans,
Right.
Memphis, and
Well,
Nashville.
This is true.
They've never looked at a map and said, you know what? I want to go to Austin, Texas.
Let's go to the
We
phone
want to
lines.
go where the
I'm sorry.
hottest crowd is right now. The
Yeah.
hottest spots right now is Houston and Dallas.
Man, like-
Everybody wants to go there, but you got Austin, you got San Antonio, but you
El
never
Paso,
you don't hear that.
Silicaga.
So what we do is we compare Birmingham to the hottest spots, and Atlanta just happens to be. That's people who live in Birmingham and work in Atlanta, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caller, you're in with Vital. What's your comment? Hello.
Is this me?
This is you. Hey.
Okay. Patricia Todd.
Hey, Patricia. How are you?
Good. Y'all have a variety, and I just want to give a couple of comments. When you were talking about, I don't know if y'all realize constitutional
Patrick,
that restricts.
you're a little
Okay.
choppy. Can we get you? Can you do something to adjust something where you are or something?
Let's see.
Give us a check.
This better?
Sounds like it would be. Let's see. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah, we're talking about transit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a constitutional amendment that restricts gas tax to fund public transit.
Hmm.
And I tried to get it reversed. I was not successful with that. The other thing I wanted to make you all realize is the Republicans are going to try to change our voter registration so you have to identify with a party.
Mm-hmm.
Where right now we have open primaries.
Right.
And the thing about Joe Biden, he was far better than our alternative,
Right.
but we need a stronger candidate.
Pat, do you think though, in 2 years, like I would think that now, where you see, the conversations are starting to build. If people are paying attention to the issues that are coming up and the votes that are being made, the shifts that are happening, that we should be identifying somebody, like a strong identification, not just suggestions, but like a strong idea of who that somebody would be. We should be doing it now, right?
Yes. And I love Kamala, but she has not been given the opportunity to lead. And I think that's a problem.
Because she hasn't.
Yep.
I can't even say I love her because I don't know enough. She's just a sister that got in. I don't really know enough to say.
Mean, I'm crazy about her. I've met her.
Okay.
She's great. But when Obama was president, he gave Biden a lot of opportunity and leadership
Mm-hmm.
that Kamala has not had.
Okay. Okay. And so, okay, we're not on the inside, so I don't know that she hasn't had this opportunity, or if it's just been an awkward positioning. And
Roe v. Wade is her subject right now, though.
where is she talking though?
I think she's about to start because
Okay.
that's what you need to do. I mean, that's how you again the untapped resource for the Democratic Party, I think, is white women. You can peel some of them off, and Roe v. Wade, I think, is one of those things that can be one of those lightning rod issues that you can start to get them to break away from the old ideals.
Okay.
I hope.
Pat.
And a lot of younger women are being motivated by Roe v. Wade.
Yep. Which again is a reason. Oh, she's still talking. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay. Well, again, which is a reason why I never thought the Supreme Court was going to do this, because you just lost one of the boogeymen, right? Like, oh, the threat. I keep saying this: Republicans, God's gun country, but one of their major issues has always been abortion rights. So, like, once you take that away, there's no more fear mongering there. So, like, it might be a tactical disadvantage for Roe v. Wade to have now been overturned, because again, that is going to upset the apple cart.
Patricia, thank you for that call. We will be getting together. I mean that. Caller, you're in with Vital. What's your comment?
Hey, good evening. Thanks for taking my call.
For sure.
This is Iggy Pullum.
Hey.
Been commenting on social media.
I
I
appreciate
just want to say
that.
two things, maybe kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone.
All right.
Number one, Kamala Harris was stumping with votes at the AK and Omega Southside Grand Conclaves in Boulay. And people don't make those kind of appearances unless they have some type of future motive.
Okay.
So we can't count her out. Number two, there's a lack of progressive mindset that has always dogged this city for the past, 40 years. And that's because that old mindset was just content with where they are, considering that they grew up during Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement. So they're less inclined to have a futuristic, perspective of the city. Now, I went to Huffman High School, and I'm dating myself, but I'll just say in the early 90s when the Viking was white.
Oh, yeah, Viking
And it
Brown.
was very hard to get a lot of our parents to even let us go on field trips outside of the city,
Yeah.
or really outside of the state, beyond Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us weren't really exposed to an outside world. That's why we don't have a global perspective of things. And we're still being dogged for it after, 30, 35 years. So unfortunately, that old mindset is not going to go away until the people go away. I hate that's very dark to say, but until the new generation, a younger generation, I say a 50 and under, really just take over this thing, you can expect to see what's been going on. And this last election, it wasn't that people were voting for Joe Biden. They were voting against Trump. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So I get that. I get everything you said, progression and what that looks like. And then those great transitions, the great migrations, people, what does that look like though? The one part that he did say toward the end about the younger generation, the 50 and unders at this point, what that looks like. I have a lot of opinions on how I see our people in leadership, our people making, really pushing some momentum in the city and around the city, but the mindset, where we are, what we came from, and how we changed that. Chuck, I know you've mentioned before, like with your family being in Montgomery, being the ages that they are, and then your dad being who he is, but then you being how you are. And the
I'm just being myself,
right? And I say the same thing. Like I'm just being myself, being from Birmingham, being who's I am. But then like we'll be in a place, and I almost feel like an alien when you're around other people because of the mindset.
Mhm.
Y'all get that?
I do absolutely get it.
Like I see bigger things. I see lights. I see people. I hear sounds. I taste food that ain't just fried chicken and Cajun ranch fries, right? Like I see and want to live in those type spaces where I can explore all of who I am and allow people to teach me. I want to be teachable and moldable all the time. Then I want to give that. In my city, I don't really feel the spaces for that.
Why?
I used to.
Why?
I think it's because of what he said.
I didn't hear him.
Where were you? Where were your antennas?
I got headphones. Where's the splitter?
Oh, Chuck, it's almost over.
You told me I got to be on time, which that's not going to happen. But also have to have headphones. I got
Oh, he just is so defiant to the teacher on air. He
Girl.
said it's not gonna happen.
I mean, I get close to 7.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, what did he say at the end? Though?
Thank you, Ms. Williams. So basically, just thinking like when you where the rest of the world is moving and being able to, like people watch TikTok and Twitter and Facebook for inspiration from people that they've never been around, people in places that they've never desired to go. And then when you try to introduce them to it here, it's like, what is that? We don't do that. We don't like that. What? So it's almost like it's a desire to go and grow, but then it's also this constant fear of doing more or being exposed. It's like I don't know.
I think that's going to, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna say is like for Birmingham, for me, it feels like it's kind of almost the crab in the bucket
Mhm.
mentality. It's okay for people to do it outside of the state, but when you bring it home because it wasn't my idea, it's stupid.
I think that's it. What, Courtney?
It's stupid.
I
you
think-
know?
Oh, dang.
I think that's part of it. I think that's 100%. I
Mm.
think the other part of it is this. Birmingham also has the unfortunate position of not being really like a destination city. It's changing now, right? But I think that because I know you don't want to talk about Atlanta and these other places, I think people go there from other parts of the country and they bring in new ideas. They bring in
Yes.
money, fresh ideas, fresh money,
Yeah.
whatever, and they can like say, well, this is what we were doing back where we were from. That is changing, but
Mhm.
Birmingham until probably like the last 10 years, unless you were a medical student, unless you go on a UAB,
Mhm.
there wasn't a lot of stuff to bring people from outside of Birmingham to Birmingham because people always think, well, it's in Alabama. Well, I mean, Birmingham is Birmingham. Alabama is Alabama. It's
Man.
different.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like even my people, like when I was in Chicago, I made a joke. They were like, "Man, you still down there?" I'm like, "Well, they let us wear shoes now, so it's
Look,
good. We
Somebody,
straight."
somebody told me I was a dope Alabamian. Like, are you a dope Alabamian? Like, what?
Right.
What?
Because again, you
It's
hear about
embarrassing.
the regressive and restrictive things, legal stuff that we got going on here, but they don't understand that Birmingham is sort of carved out from that.
Yeah.
And
Like,
did somebody ask you like if you rode on a horse?
I mean, it's some horses not too far away.
And that's
from
what
it.
I said. I was
I
like,
was gonna
well,
say my neighbor got a horse.
I joked
Right.
and said, well, yeah, I'm about to go jump on my horse. I'm gonna call you back. Okay, I gotta go get on my horse. And he was just
Neighbor got a
like,
fleet of horses.
he said, you laughing. I thought y'all had horses for real. And then I'm like, well, yeah, we do, but we don't. Like,
We don't
they
ride
do.
them to like
Look,
go to work.
they
and
do.
stuff.
Like in Birmingham Port, but I'm in too much to explain. You got to come see.
So, but I think that's why I'm hopeful about the impact of the World Games. Like, I'm tired of, people sent me screenshots because y'all know I ain't got access to social media about
You don't need it.
everybody talking about it's like a deficit and how much did the city lose. Man, miss me with that, yo. Let it go. Like,
And the main people harping on that are people that don't even live here anymore.
well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Or
Like,
they didn't get as the host. Or
That's the problem.
Right. They mad about that. But
yeah.
again, the Olympics in Atlanta, I assume they probably made money, but I think a lot of times Olympics and World Games don't make that much money. But the impact, because like now, like I said before, we've had an international spotlight. You got a bunch of
Yeah.
cats that were here. I don't want to signal out any particular, like, you got Asians, Germans,
Mhm.
French, people who probably got like access to resources and access to money. It's
Mhm.
cheaper to build down here in the South. It's cheaper, but the problem is two things: education and public transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be, if there's going to be something that stifles potential momentum, that might be the one thing. But I think that like people think Birmingham's about to grow because of the world. I mean, because of the World Games is just where we are.
All right. So look at this then. World Games, we got these we got these bus only lanes, right? In this bus.
I'm not getting over. Ain't no bus out
Let me
here.
just talk about it. Since we talk about transportation, we got this lane with the bus only, and we were trying to see like would we end up in court if we get a ticket for driving in it, and then
Is the
further-
lane still there?
it's still there,
there?
because they said that it's not a part of. It wasn't for the World Games. It was coming anyway.
Oh, okay.
Child.
The other part of that, though,
Quick-a-line.
let's talk about this. I want it to be either a lifted subway type of situation, like a MARTA type thing, and not just another regular bus.
You want an L like in Chicago?
Basically.
Yeah, I like the L.
L's cool.
Something like
Mhm.
that, because that way you wouldn't have to go underground and try to figure out where to put it. Just put it where these orange bus stops are, and these bus only lanes that these folk want to drive their cars in.
That needs money, man. That takes a lot of money. It does. Like, and the city, you got to work with the federal government. And I think that's
Yeah.
what the transit system is trying to do. They're trying to get grants and funding in, get some of these federal tax dollars. But you got to be able to get it in.
Let's take another break. The final break for the show, the first show in August. I want to thank all of our I can't say you're new listeners, but you're definitely new callers for joining us on the conversation tonight. We'll be back and we'll take more of your calls then. You're listening to Vital on V94.9 WATV. We're on Sunday nights. The V stands for Vital.
94.9 WATV and AEG welcomes two iconic R&B artists to Birmingham. Get ready for Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, that's gonna be a dope show. I was gonna say, what is that?
And I love you.
It just sound hot and shiny.
It do sound.
It sound hot and shiny.
Are you at work? Yo.
All hosted by MC Lightfoot with Chris Coleman on the 1 and 2.
Griner in order to try and use her as leverage.
Let me say this too. I think, and I told Wu this earlier, you have to realize Trump lost the election. He and Putin are homeboys. Do you not think that he's helping Putin with this leverage of keeping her there?
I think that's why he was in the conversation to make that statement about her.
I'm kind of smart, y'all. I just don't look like him. I'm kind of
You're
smart.
a little bit.
I did go to Parker.
Y'all think he that smart?
I think if she was a regular,
Trump, yeah.
no.
I think
but
he's a businessman. Con
Right, I
artist.
think he's a businessman.
the art of the con,
Yeah.
art of the deal.
Yeah.
I
And the
think-
art of the con too.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep her. She's not a fair trade. He said she is not a fair trade.
They want those arms dealers.
Right, they want
That's
him.
who Russia wants back. Yeah, that's what they want.
But I
Yeah,
do.
so keep Brittany, cause when you let them go, what's gonna happen?
She gonna play basketball.
And
Right.
then with
Do your basketball equal up to these guns? we ain't stuck.
Well, we're trying to get somebody else back too, right? And then like a report, somebody else. But
There's some soldiers who went over. Two of them that have Alabama ties. They over there, but I'm not hearing them. Prisoners of war. I hadn't heard anything about that. Pawns of politics, pawns of the war. Brittany Griner.
prisoners of war, I mean, that's a different. You got to go through the Geneva Convention. and all
Right.
that.
It's
a
no.
little bit-
This
a little
has
bit
no.
different.
Right.
Yeah.
It has. It's not. She was loaded with drugs.
She
Okay.
got caught up with some dope, and like she broke the law. And I do think, yes, if she was a lily white broad with blonde hair and blue eyes, would she still be doing time? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
think
you
so.
think so? And she wore size 6 and not a 17.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Because
Because she broke the
I think
law.
other countries don't. Again, America, like I think we get sort of lax in our thinking. Like we think the rest of the world is like us, and it's just not. Like, and if she
Ooh.
were in China, she might have got 20 years. I mean, you just don't know.
And some lashings. Somebody told me they went on a vacation this week somewhere, and the person they went with basically wanted to eat all of the same things they eat when they're here. They wanted to just kind of kick it how they kick it at home, and you all
and
the way
now
in
I'm about
another
to cut
country.
you off all the way.
Yeah, you
on
in
the
a whole nother
vacation. I
country.
catch you at the flight.
speaking of if she were white or not, did y'all hear about the teacher in Texas that got 2 months in jail for having sex with her 13-year-old student for 3 years?
No.
No, but I also know some white folks back in the day got locked up for a long time for doing the same thing.
This young white girl got only 2 months
Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
jail for having actual sex with this student in school, at his house, in her
That's crazy.
car. 32-year-old white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes.
There was,
And the child was 13.
there were some white folks back. This was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. There were some teachers that got caught up in that stuff. Like they went away for like
They
9,
went
10
away.
years.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I mean,
So-
that ain't shocking to me though. Like y'all ain't never had. I don't know.
Whoa,
Whatever.
whoa,
It's like it started when he was 13.
It's,
It went on
it's
for-
different in
Yeah,
our community.
Whoa, slow down now.
Look at how she. I mean, whatever. Like she,
That's why you got them numbers behind you. I ain't forgotten that conversation.
Chuck, you're gonna have to let that
Whoa.
go.
Whoa.
Oh.
I know people in places all over.
So 994-8949 fast 5. This is the fast 5 minutes of the show, the last 5 minutes of the show. If you want to get in on anything that you've heard, you can do so now. The world is amazing. I'm gonna have to go debrief and probably take 2 weeks off and travel to clear my mind again after all of these different topics.
So we ain't gonna be here next week.
Yeah, we'll be
I want my hot chocolate.
Hey man, I be needing to know.
Yeah, we'll be here. I'm just
Pull
thinking
up.
like it's so much that happens in the world, and when you start talking about all of it, and you think we're only talking about a small fragment of it,
Of
it is-
everything,
it's
'cause
really mind blowing.
Sometimes we miss stuff.
woo so much.
Let me ask you about the topic.
What's up?
Wiz Khalifa, with you
Mm,
being a DJ, tell me what you think.
I love Wiz.
Okay,
I ain't see the video.
Okay,
I heard about it.
yeah, give the story.
all right.
Dave.
Wiz Khalifa was he was performing, and apparently, the DJs who was playing his music, was not part of his crew. They was like house DJs at the club, and they didn't set the room the way he thought the vibe should be. So I ain't gonna say he went off on them on stage. He was calling them sorry and where y'all DJ from, y'all suck, and get them up. My first question was, why you didn't bring your DJ?
Okay.
Mhm.
He was performing. They was playing his music.
So off air, Chuck asked, were they spinning his music? So what? There are several questions. So that's a valid question. Were they out? Were they like pre-show, getting the show ready? Because like when you say setting the tone for the show, you want somebody that sets the vibe for your show. What am I playing? Am I playing old school stuff? Do you have a set list? Was I privy to this? So if he's snapping on the mic, I'm gonna cut his mic.
Right.
Who you talking to?
Sometimes you don't necessarily play that music, that artist. Like, so for the 8 Ball and MJG and UGK, right? Like Chris and Vegas, was Vegas up there? I don't know. But they weren't necessarily playing their tracks, but they were playing tracks that were adjacent, that were in that similar like genre, I think, right?
Yeah.
So to set the tone, I mean, I think that's right. That's
right. That's right.
Why are you looking at me?
I'll tell you that. That's when I'm off air conversation.
Okay, my bad.
But yeah, that's
I be
right.
stepping in stuff here, man. I don't know nothing about.
Well, like this, bro.
I'm a habitual line stepper.
Right, habitually.
Okay, so look though, like real talk, you in situations like that where you are being attacked for your craft and you don't really know. You didn't give me anything to work with. Like, I know how to work my crowd. I know how to hype a show up. But Wiz, if you wanted a certain vibe set, you should have told me.
Right. Because like when I went to go see Earth Gang, they were at Saturn. Like, so the DJs before Earth Gang came out, they weren't playing no Earth Gang tracks. But they were playing something that was similar
in the
same genre.
Same genre. Like to get people like, it's like Earth Gang adjacent.
Set the tone.
Some Dreamville stuff.
Yeah.
Some other like Atlanta Dungeon, like something that's similar. So you ain't got to be playing. Wiz he mad because he ain't relevant. Is he still married to Amber Rose?
I don't
know.
Man, bro, log off. Put him out. He got to go.
Why?
We got to get
Is he married to Amber Rose?
Is that a bad question?
No, it's not a bad question because some of our listeners now are probably like, who is Wiz Khalifa?
Who is Amber Rose?
Who is Amber Rose? So no question is
Black
a bad
and yellow,
question.
black and yellow. There you go, Wiz. We shouted you out.
Right,
Be
like
good.
Vital is that show on Sunday nights for everybody, okay? And at some point, somebody's gonna be like, "What?"
We're gonna have to get Choco.
Wiz who?
Hey, so Sebastian tells the next time y'all see him, he went to the wedding. He tells an amazing story that I can't tell on air because it's his story to tell.
Okay.
It's an amazing wedding about when Wiz got married to Amber Rose, I thought.
Yeah, but they divorced.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she got a tattoo on her forehead that's totally
On her
speaks against-
forehead.
It totally speaks against being married to anybody.
Oh, she did time too. She probably got numbers too.
So yeah, that's my answer on that. Anything else before we go? School starts tomorrow. We talked about that, and about how many students? None are registered. Out of the whole system,
The
there are only a
registration
few.
process was
It
horrible.
is ridiculous.
It is horrible. Why am I filling out online and also bringing you hard copies too?
What are you
Why
gonna
am I
do
doing
with those
all
copies?
of that? Why am I doing that?
Yeah, and
I
then
couldn't register one of my babies. I gotta go to the school on Tuesday.
right then between certain hours, there are no drop boxes. I mean, like, whoa.
And then you got kids getting their schedule on the first day.
My kids gonna get their schedule on the first day, but that was probably my fault because I registered them late.
The accountability is amazing. However,
I wasn't
for
like
parents that
I
are
was
uber prepared and
I
like
was
really
on it.
excited about it,
I was on it.
they wanted that stuff. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable with everything because we've navigated the system for the whole time, and I've navigated the system as a student, so I'm comfortable knowing that everything will be okay. However, troubleshooting, is that a school board thing? Is that a parent thing? Is that a direct from Vital to the administration? Like what?
I think the school board I think the school system sets the tone for how
Absolutely.
your parents are going to handle the remainder of the year. If you start out unorganized, unprepared, they're gonna be the same way all year round. It's gonna be a back and forth all year round.
Hey, well, I ain't got no kids, but shout out to Princeton Elementary. I'm pulling up tomorrow. So
Yeah, that's
I'm a
Carmen's alma
greeter.
matter. You're gonna be high fiving and all that.
I'm dropping off in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I mean,
You want to?
Vital.
You ain't got to
I'm
have
gonna be high
kids to-
fiving like that.
you ain't got to have kids to help kids out.
This is true. It takes a
That's so
village.
nice.
The village
I don't
should
get up early
be.
in the morning.
So you get up early for these little children.
I got to tomorrow.
All right. So once again, on your first day, if you go back tomorrow, parents, I'm talking to you because your children probably should be in the bed. Do well all year. You will be seeing us in the school systems. I promise you, you will be seeing us this year, and we hope you do well. For those college students, I will see you on Tuesday. Be in class. I'm not giving any incompletes at the end of the semester. Y'all enjoy your night. See you in the morning.
My homegirl's a dean. What is Tiffany Agee? Interim dean at Miles College, Miles Law School.
Probably Miles Law.
Okay.
Shouts out to Miles Law School as well.
Yeah, shout out to Miles.
Boom. You have a good night. Tomorrow noon, the free lunch flashback in the Midday Fun Show. Right here on B90.9 WATV. Have a blessed week. Be vital.
W235 BS Birmingham, WATV Birmingham, Courtney Finch